Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I wanted to talk about self-progress feels like pressure until it starts to feel like punishment. That's the point that I want to try to make in this video. So stop being hard on yourself. To start off, maybe think of this example. Okay, there are over 8 billion people in the world, and out of all these people, 90% of the people are living a monotonous life where they do not question why they are living it like that. These are the people who are blind. They follow the general equation of life set by the society without trying to question it. This is how 90% of the total population of the world works, right? So if you are somebody who is not blinded like that, you are able to see what is actually happening, you are aware of the fact, then you are one out of the 10 people out there. So let's consider an example. Suppose there are 100 people, and 10 out of this 100 people is aware of the kind of life everybody is living and how it is all structured, the kind of system they are following blindly, right? And one out of this 10 people, the people who are aware, is the person who is actually doing anything about it. Meaning, if 10% of the total population is aware of the stuff that is happening, is actually aware, then 1% of the total population is the people who are actually doing anything about it. So it's crazy to think about, right? So if you are somebody who falls under that 10% at least, that is something you should be grateful for. Thank the gods that you are aware, that you are not blinded like the others. So I don't know where it comes from. Maybe it's the kind of raising you get, maybe it's the kind of people you surround yourself with, the kind of parenting you got, the kind of environment you were born into. These are the factors which determine how you perceive the world. So if you are somebody who is godly chosen to perceive the world in a different way, in any way which is not the normal path, then that is great. So pat yourself in the back for that. It's not often that you see a millionaire go by every day in your life, right? You find them rarely. It's because those kind of people are rare indeed. It is not easy to be one among them. It takes a lot of courage, it takes a lot of hard work. You'll have to question everything you are doing, and all of those actions is going to add up to create a successful person. And every person defines success in a different way. For each different person it will be different. So you cannot assume that getting a high status job and earning a high income is going to make you successful. Maybe in the eyes of the society it will, but to you it might not. So what is the point of trying to impress somebody else by doing the things that you do not like, when all you have is just one single freaking life, right? Don't think it will be very easy to quit that particular path and follow the path that you want to choose for yourself instead. That is also not easy. And that is when you start being so hard on yourself, because you are finally able to see something the other people are not clearly not able to see. But you are stuck in that loop and you're not able to do anything about it. That is when you start being hard on yourself. But what I want to say is that, do you really think being hard on yourself by setting unrealistic goals and trying to push yourself thinking that you can easily achieve it, or thinking that you can achieve it if you continue to be hard on yourself, do you really think that is going to work? If you think about it, being hard on yourself means you are going to set unrealistic goals, or maybe realistic goals which you might be able to achieve at some point in the future, right? But you are not capable for it right now. You set that kind of goals in your life right now and just expect yourself to achieve it straight away. But you need to understand that having goals is great. It's great. It's giving you a clear vision, it's giving you a purpose in your life which you want to fulfill. But you need to actually see for yourself if you are equipped to achieve it, right? Uh, it's like, for example, you want to become a singer. Maybe you have it in you, the skills you need to become a singer, but you are actually expecting yourself to win a big competition where a lot of other singers who have been experienced in this field is coming to compete with you. You expect to win that competition, and that is when it becomes unrealistic. Instead, what you are actually meant to do is start from the bottom and actually climb each step. See, Different people achieve different things at different point of times. People move at their own pace. Sometimes the things that are meant for us will come to us when it's the right time. So you need to have faith in that. You need to believe in that. Some people work their asses off for so long and they do not see any sort of result for a long time, and sometimes they lose any hope and they just give up. But who knows, maybe it's at that particular point, at that moment where they want to give up, that might be the point when they could succeed. They could have succeeded if they gave up already. That is something that you need to be aware of and accept in order to move on with your life. You need to understand that life is not a race but a marathon. It's not about who's gonna win first. It's not about who's gonna make a 12 lakh per annum first. It's not about who's gonna get married first, who's gonna have a kid first. It's not about that. It's about who's gonna be the happiest at the end. You get a package of 12 LPA for starters at least. You get married, you have your kids. You get everything a society looks out for to see a successful man or a woman. And then 30 years forward, you are not happy. What is the point? So it is not a race but a marathon. So you don't have to push yourself so hard because you're not able to achieve something right now. Maybe your time is not right now. You don't have to push yourself. There is no time limit for that. Now I know there are people who works differently with different motivators, right? Some people works more when they are being pushed so much. Some people are able to bring out what is inside them if they are pushed so much. Those are all the exceptions. But generally, being hard on yourself is just going to lead to further disappointment because of setting unrealistic goals. And you lose hope and you just never end up doing anything you like to do ever. Now, there are different factors which could lead to this sort of behavior. For instance, somebody who is trying to get validation from somebody else's judgment. This could really happen through their own childhood habits. Sometimes it does happen. For example, some people try to impress their parents. They try to work for them and they push themselves so hard so that they can impress them. So this is something that you need to work through. Because why would you try to impress somebody else when all you get is this one life for yourself? So please try to live it for you. Another way this could happen is when you're left with no other choice but to attain that particular goal. Like for instance, what happened in Charles Leclerc's case when he had to get into Formula One because he already told his dying father that he got into F1. So that's a situation where you have no other choice but to get in. So in such a situation also, you will have to be hard on yourself because you are left with nothing else. So there are situations where it works, where it actually motivates you. In all these situations, they were trying to achieve one particular goal, and they had no other choice but to do it. But when you are keep making it a regular habit of yours where you push yourself too much to do anything, that is when it actually gets toxic and you try to be on bad terms with yourself. So if you are on bad terms with yourself, you're not getting any reward from yourself, you don't treat yourself good, then who are you living for? See, by being hard on yourself, you might be able to get the thing done. But do you think in the long run you'll ever be happy with yourself? Because that is the point, right? You came into this world alone, you're gonna die alone. When you are dying, do you want to be on bad terms with yourself where you never really appreciated yourself, where you never showed any care for yourself, where you never loved yourself? So, do you want to be somebody like that? This is a very, very important message for those people out there who might be suffering from depression or loneliness or anxiety and they are thinking so negatively of themselves. So, this is a very important message to you all. Now, as a solution, what I can say is to achieve your goals, do anything. You can choose any way except from being so hard on yourself. Sometimes things take time and you need to develop that patience because you cannot expect to see big results by taking action for a few days. See, things take time to build. This is something that I've learned from Atomic Habits. I'm sure a lot of people must have read that book. It's so popular, right? So, the basic simple principle of it is that small habits, when you do it over time consistently and regularly, gets accumulated, and you will be able to achieve something so big that you would have never expected from that small particular habit. That is what actually happens. You cannot expect to get big results by doing something for a few days. You cannot achieve a big body, an aesthetic, big, huge body, bulk ass body by going to the gym for 5 days. No, you cannot. It takes a lot of time. So, first thing you need to do is understand that particular fact, that everything takes so much time and efforts, and sometimes the results are not visible to you, but it will be after reaching a particular point. So, till that point, you need to work hard even though you cannot see any tangible or visible results. And don't give up too easily, because if your want or desire for that goal is so much, then you should not get disappointed and give up on it just because you're not able to see any results out of it right now. Alright, so guys, that marks the end of the video. Be just kind to yourself, because sometimes when nobody else has been kind to you, you're all you have. You're all that you are relying on, right? So don't disappoint yourself in that way. So with that, bye bye. Love you guys. Take care. Bye bye.